Hello, my name is Megan O'Russell.
And my name is Christopher Russell, and welcome back to Page by Page, Writing the Book in Real Time. We are at episode 3, and I love the way this one begins. It makes me laugh. How are you, Megan? No, nothing?
Trying to remember how it begins.
That's okay. Look, it's however you want, man. It's however you want.
It's true. I'm the author.
You are
I
the
can
author.
pick how the story... No, I meant the chapter, not the podcast.
Oh. I was like, babe, it can begin however we want it to.
No, I meant the chapter. You were like, how the chapter begins. And I was like...
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I did a good job in your opinion.
You did, yeah.
See, because... Okay, so here's the thing. The thing is... Because we are about to go into Florida SuperCon.
Yes, that's this weekend.
Yes, which is 3 days. It is in Miami Beach.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It's
I
awesome.
love the event.
It's very fun.
But it's a lot. And
Yes.
so I cheated today. And I started working on chapter 4. Which is why I was like, you know how the chapter starts.
Not that one, no.
That's how I confused myself.
Do you want to tell us? Share, Megan. How does chapter 4 start? Give us a word. Wow, nothing. All right.
Die.
Die. Okay.
No. Next week, you're going to be like, oh shit, she was right.
Die. Okay.
But
cool.
just remember.
Die. Okay. I think I can remember that. Also, this is
And then you're going to be like, you're such an asshole. And I'm going to be like, ha ha ha, yeah, I am.
So this is also our first time coming to you from our new podcast platform. We are now on, we're now on Podbean. So yay, happy Podbean.
I'm doing so well.
What did
You
you do?
said our first time coming from, and I was like, the mic's the same, the phone's the same. What did I miss?
We are coming to you from an entirely new location.
No, I was like, no, the guest room's the same, the bookshelf's the same. I would know that shit, but I was like, did we buy a new mic?
I love it. Is it funny to you
that I have no idea what's happening 90% of the time?
No, honey, that's just you and brain injury a little bit, but mostly.
No. It used to be like, I would say I didn't know what was happening about 57% of the time.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like, definitely more than 50, but not as much as 60.
Yes.
But that's also because I'm just like in my head living in dream world. Like other people are like, which way should we go on the turnpike? And I'm like, wow, the way that hawk flew would be really pretty in a scene with everyone dying underneath.
And no, I'm now late to my other job.
Like, I do these things.
Yeah,
I've only driven to the wrong job twice in the past 6 months.
Toward the wrong job. You didn't go all the way
No,
there.
I didn't get all the way there.
Yeah, but you did.
Because whoever the bitch in the car is was like, Hunty, you fucked up.
Whoever the bitch in the car is.
She was like recalculating. Well, that added 20 minutes. I think the best part about having this conversation about cars and traffic is that in the upcoming chapter, in the previous chapter, in fact, in the entire book so far, no one has gotten in a car.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. That's very interesting. As soon as you said that, I went, we've dealt with no traffic. There's been no traffic.
No, they haven't been in a car. They have been on foot.
Okay, so I'm finally going to say what I was going to say that set us somehow off on this magical mystery tour. But no, what I think is insane is that, so you talked about how
I'm so sorry to my sister.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna out my sister right now. And I don't think she listens to the podcast. And if I someday get a really angry phone call about this, but my sister's catchphrase is, but what I'm saying is. And you almost just, no, but what I'm saying is.
Okay, so.
And I have actually, no. Okay, we did actually, man. I'm going to out us even further. So I'm sorry if mom listens to this. Chris and I did actually play a drinking game one Christmas. Where we kept tabs on how many times my sister said, no, but what I'm saying is, and we were going to have a beer every time we heard it, but we started feeling nauseous from the amount of fluids in our stomach.
Yeah.
And we had to stop.
Yeah. It wasn't the alcohol.
It just started a family feud.
See, you did not. Look, we all have that thing. If you don't believe me, go back and watch How I Met Your Mother. but don't watch the final episode because it's horrible. But
I mean, mine is continue, so.
You in this instance, yes. I don't know that I could tell you if you have any others. Like, I actually don't know.
Yours as well, actually. Or did you know?
Yeah, but that's my job as a tour guide as well, actually.
No. You did that for years before.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Years before.
Fake news. So what I was going to say is, your face, is that what's funny to me is that you talked about how we're broadcasting from our guest room. This is where the nice bookshelf is. Like, we built this beautiful bookshelf that we don't actually really see all the time.
No. Well, because if we put it in our room.
Yeah, the babes would be all over it.
The babes would be all over it.
Yes, that's true.
And it would inevitably end up with me putting stuff on it.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. Yeah, sure.
Because we're going to get into like deep-seated psychological territory before we even get to the podcast episode.
No, yeah, no. Hey, look, I'm here for it.
I grew up in an inn.
Psychology hour.
So in the inn, in my parents' inn, I had my half of my bedroom that I could make as messy as I fucking wanted.
Right.
Until my sister would start cleaning it and my mom would start cleaning it and everyone else would do it. But that was my space.
Okay.
And then everywhere else in the inn was either like my mom's space, my dad's space, my sister's space, like very particularly belonging to a person in the family.
Okay.
Or the inn.
Yeah.
So the only space that was like distinctly mine, I marked it with my mess so that it wasn't a guest's. It sure as fuck wasn't my sister's.
By the way, that hasn't changed.
It wasn't my parents'. I mark my space. I'll be like, this is my spot. I'm leaving a sock in this corner.
When we first started dating, I was so clean. I was so tidy.
No, like I mark a table as belonging to me by leaving like 3 things in the corner. I'm like, nope, it's mine. And so if this bookcase were in our bedroom, in order to mark it as like not a guest territory and be like, no, this is Megan's spot. This is Megan's space. 'Tis all belonging to Megan.
It's such a nice
I would have to put things on it and it wouldn't stay nice because I'd be like, well, here's my sock on top of my little bird so that I can mark it as mine. But since it's in the guest room, it has to stay like relatively neat.
Yes, it does.
So I don't like put random shit on it to be like, no, it's my bookshelf because that's how I roll. And you're so tolerant. Like my writing space is like my little nest.
Okay, let's
I
be
have
fair.
my little planties.
The kitchen is my mess, so we have our mess.
I said nest.
Oh, nest.
The kitchen is your mess.
Correct, okay.
I have a nest.
Yeah, I have a mess.
You have a dumping ground. You come home from work and you're like, bags.
Yeah, it's so true. So, do you want to...
Previously on... Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
I forgot that was the title.
I actually had to dig a little deep to find it.
Okay, go ahead.
Previously on Laurel Book 2.
Why do I have to leave time for the music?
I thought you were going to snap. Now I'm confused.
Oh my God, I'm not snapping.
Talk now. I'm going to start it again. Previously on Diary of a Blood-Bound Werewolf.
No, blood marked.
Damn it. Previously on Bloodbound Nights of Marked in Laureldale.
Oh, no.
Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf.
You got it. You did it. Roll music. Go.
Previously on Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf, we have been at the Food Truck Fest in Laureldale with Ella and her friends. We ended the last chapter with Ella having a very unfortunate vision of the bandstand roof collapsing and smushing some tap dancers.
They probably deserved it.
They probably did.
They probably weren't doing the right time step.
You know, if you scrape those tap shoes, you gotta get squished.
If it's your time step, it's your time step.
You cheating those sounds, you gotta get... I just got what you said.
Thank you very much.
But I was gonna say, you cheating those steps, you gotta get smushed.
You gotta get smushed. All right, it's my turn. It is my turn.
We didn't introduce the beer of the week. That's not a beer of the week because we're having Golden Monkey again because we haven't gone to Total Wine, but now we figured out a system so we can make this work in the future.
Why don't
but now
you have to lean in to talk about this because I've moved the mic closer to me, but tell them what the new system is. Hi.
So the problem is when the concept of starting with the beers and having a beer a week began, you were working in a place at that time. You had a job where your route brought you close to beers that we could have a beer of the week. But now that where you're aiming with your job now, we're not going past like a Total Wine or any of those.
You're talking about when I was working
stores.
at the garden.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sure.
When we began it, that we had easier access to craft beers. But we have decided to create a system, and this is going to like require self-control, which
that's kind of what I'm wondering. I'm like, I love that you think we have this kind of self-control.
But
so we'll see.
The idea is that we are going to make a trip out to where the independent breweries are available. We're going to choose a bunch to like stock up for like 2 months.
Can we go to Coppertail? I know it's a way out of the way, but we're going to be out that way at some point. We've got to go. I love Coppertail. Is probably my favorite Florida brewery.
Good.
It's so
But
good.
Anyway, so what we're going to do is we are going to make a deliberate round to get these brews, save them, stock them up, label them out by week so that they go with the episodes and do it that way. Because the whole like, we'll grab something on Sunday for Monday. It can't happen.
No, it can't.
Where you are and work now and where we live, we had not admitted that we lost that resource until
what's funny is the closest place for me to get beer now is Whole Foods. And to be fair, the beer at Whole Foods actually is not bad. It's not expensive. The beer at Publix is more expensive, which is weird. It shouldn't be that way.
You know who doesn't have good beer near us?
Who?
Trader Joe's.
They don't. Trader Joe's usually does have good beer, like good Belgians. Ours does not. Yeah, it's very fine. Yeah. Anyway, but yes, so we're gonna try that. We'll see how well it works. I have my doubts because I like beer. Okay, so I do. It's
You're
true.
like, my wife has emotional needs on a lot of days, and some of those are going to come out with drinking those beers that are saved up.
I mean, like, yeah, I wasn't. I mean, that's not exactly what I was thinking, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, so shall we finally get into it?
You're going to have to cut so much of this.
We'll see. I'm going to cut some of it, but we'll see. All right, so then, without further ado, promise, no more ado. There's much ado about werewolves. That was a chapter in the previous book. Welcome back. I present to you Laureldale, Book 2, Diary of a Blood-Marked Werewolf. Is she choking? Probably. The speakers held fear in their tones, but not the right kind of terror to match the screams that swept around me, each voice with its own texture that pulled against my flesh as the vision tried to drag me under, drown me in the deadly panic of the stampede surging away from the horror on the stage. Twisted sheet metal, fallen beams, and so much blood. Ella? Screams of pain trapped under the collapsed bandstand roof. Ella! The blood spread, rising up, painting the world with scarlet streaks. She needs the Heimlich. Don't fucking touch her! I needed to get to the stage, help them, making the bleeding... I needed to get to the stage, help them, make the bleeding stop, but the vision's talons pinned me in place. The screams of the dancers began blinking away, falling silent one by one. Ella, can you take a breath? A calm voice spoke close to my ear. I liked that voice. I wanted to claw my way to that voice, but I couldn't abandon the stage. The edges of the vision withered, the scarlet streaks curling in, their spiked edges slicing into my skin as they shoved me toward the place with the calm voice and the steady hand rubbing slow circles on my back, and I knew everything would be better if I fled to the voice. The pain in my chest begged me to go, but I clung to the horrible moment I'd been called to see. The screams fell away until only one voice remained in the park, whimpering. Gasping, the sound of a creature punished by death's late arrival. I couldn't leave that poor voice alone, not even in a vision. I'm a Sybil. It's my duty to bear witness. But death wouldn't come, and I couldn't hold on. You're okay, just breathe. I lost my hold on the vision as the calm voice lifted me away, dropping me into the now. What's happening? Back off! The table in front of me tipped and rippled as it came back into focus. My stomach rolled, adding the overabundance of pastries I'd rammed down my throat to the list of life choices I needed to re-examine. I'll get Kate, Sydney pushed away from the table. I opened my mouth, planning on saying something to stop her, but words were not what would have flown out, so I slammed my lips shut. Thank fuck, Andre grabbed Sydney's arm, stopping her. I'll go. No! Give Ella a second. Luca correctly interpreted my frantic headshake. I nodded and let out a slow breath. Better. Jason used the same calm tone that had carried me out of the vision, rubbing the same soothing circles on my back. I let myself enjoy the unearned refuge as I worked way harder on breathing than anyone should have to and studied the faces of my group, searching for hints as to what exactly they might have seen while I was seeing. Before we continue, Megan, do you want to tell people why you didn't want me to lean in the video?
So, a lot.
No, go ahead.
A lot of the events that I do, there are a lot of erotica authors.
Okay, yes, continue.
And because I want to support my erotica friends, I have a lot of erotica books.
How many of them have you read?
A few.
Yeah.
Some. Mm-hmm. I have more than I will ever read.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who will read them.
Yes.
And so I have a grouping of erotica books that I have purchased to support my fellow authors that I'm going to be shipping away. And I realized that
you want to
directly...
see them? Here, I can
Directly behind Christopher's back is quite a collection of indie erotica.
Yes, which is not what we are in the business.
No, but there are some very interesting things with aliens back there.
Blue aliens. Always blue aliens.
I know. What is it with blue?
I don't know. Why in anime do you have to have blue hair? Listen to Strong
Here's
Bad.
the thing. I understand the no red because like that, like Red Rocket with like dogs and like red aliens. Like I can understand why you'd be like, this is wrong. I don't want anything to do with it. But like, why not purple? Well, I guess no, purple would be a bruise or potentially like, I don't know, that could lead to some... Well, no, I guess a nice, pretty blue would probably be best.
I let myself enjoy the unearned refuge as I worked way harder on breathing than anyone should have to and studied the faces of my group. I'm uncomfortable, so I'm going to keep reading, searching for hints as to what exactly they might have seen while I was seeing. There was concern, a definite touch of panic. Nothing close to the wide-eyed, gawking fear that comes with a what in the ever-loving fuck is wrong with that hellspawn freak vibe. Conclusion? I love that you're still losing it over there. Conclusion? I, hopefully, froze and stopped responding to the world around me. Or started hyperventilating, with the slight potential of having screamed like someone had just stabbed me, but since Evan, who I have no doubt is a worthless chicken shit in a crisis, was only pale and hadn't actually bolted, and Noah looked peaky but ready to save my life with his plastic fork if that's what it took to impress Luca, I was willing to bet it hadn't gotten that bad. This time. I swallowed hard, making sure I wouldn't puke before attempting speech. Sorry. Don't be sorry. Paige knelt beside me. I didn't know when she'd lost her chair. I dug deep, ready to whip up some totally logical explanation for my mid-meal catatonia, but my friends, the ones who'd been taking care of me for the last week like we'd been close since diapers, didn't need an explanation. Paige, Jason, Sydney, Andre, they'd all seen me get yanked out of the now more than once during their Kate-enforced vigil, even if they didn't know what the fuck was happening. You don't deserve them, Ella. I know. How about a couple of sips of cold water? Sydney pulled an unopened, chilled bottle from nowhere. Thanks, I said. Sydney even opened the fucking bottle before pressing it into my shaking hands. Ella, Evan leaned in from his spot on the other side of Paige. Are you okay? Do you need a medic? I saw some by the entrance. Just sit down, you fuck. Paige swatted Evan away. I'm fine, Evan. I straightened up, pushing my shoulders back, pretending I could absolutely drink water without spewing bacon-topped donut on my friends.
Okay, now that you're laughing, there's been a cat hair on your nose and I spotted it and I really needed to get rid of that. Sorry, I was waiting for you to say something so I could interrupt you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, that's so much
Back to spewing bacon-topped donut on my friends.
Oh, I couldn't breathe.
Jason started lifting his hand away from my back, but I think he felt me tense, unready to lose that comfort. He returned the lifeline of his palm's pressure, settling for keeping his hand on my back, but lowering it to a less awkward mid-back position. Can I get you anything? Evan asked. Ice? Paper bag? Ah, so I had been hyperventilating. Good fucking job, Ella. I'm really okay. I dug the heel of my boot into my toe, locking my fucking rattled-ass mind on the pain as I reached for Evan's hand. Thank you, though. He took my hand, giving my fingers a squeeze, then his gaze slipped from my face to Jason's hand on my back. I clenched my teeth, preparing to remain silent while Evan and Jason played another fun round of who gets to sit beside Ella, fully aware that I should feel shitty for not sitting beside Evan since he was my date and had provided my ticket, not actually feeling shitty enough about the situation to give up my Jason-shaped comfort object, which opens up a whole new level of, wow, Ella, that's really fucked of you. But this wasn't the time to dive into that fucked upness, and neither of them could ever fucking know about that shit show anyway. Just a fucking string of rubble in your wake. Fucking breathe, Ella. Evan took a deep breath, preparing, at least in my mind, to tell me I was a rude asshole he never wanted to speak to again. Good for you, little human. Save yourself. Run far, far away. But stupid fucking Evan kissed the back of my hand instead. You don't have to, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. No? Is that not the right amount of just fucking overdramatic douchery? What?
The thing is, I just heard your voice in college. Absolutely.
And that's how I'm playing it.
Oh, wow. That was such a flashback.
You're welcome.
Oh!
I told you I don't like Evan because I don't like past Chris. To be completely honest. Yeah, there it is. It's out on the fucking table.
Well, he managed to get a ring on me, so thank him for that.
Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. Okay. You don't have to, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. He gave my fingers another squeeze and settled back into his seat beside Paige. Is that enough schmarm for him, do you think?
No more.
More? Okay. You don't have to, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here.
No, I want you to go full Flynn Rider Disney Tangles.
Oh, okay.
Smolder.
Okay. You don't have to, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here. That felt weird.
Yeah, that wasn't quite it. No, I want you to go a little more heartfelt.
Okay, all right.
But like heartfelt smolder. Like I want like puppy dog eyes.
Okay. You don't have to, but if you ever want to talk, I'm here.
I'll accept that option.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
It's the right amount of like asshole versus sincere versus main character syndrome. Like I will buy that version.
He gave my fingers another squeeze and settled back into his seat beside Paige. Oh my God, I can't believe that we just did all that. Thanks, Evan. I managed the poetic response as he scooted his chair into the table. I wasn't sure if I meant the thanks. I appreciated the concern, but I didn't like the fierce resolve in his eyes. Unless he was fiercely resolved to find a nice human girl whose biggest drama would be dealing with Evan's drama, it wasn't a good thing. Luca's pinched brow and cocked head stole my attention from Evan. The look in Luca's eyes clearly read, "What did you see, and do I get to make anyone bleed?" A tiny shake of my head and twitch of a smile, meaning no imminent threat, apologies for the lack of violence, was the best response I could offer in mixed company. I shifted my focus to Noah, finally taking a solid look at him post-Ella episode. Even though Noah hope he's picked what he wants to be buried in, Kim should be the first person I do a thorough check of in pretty much every situation. Eyebrows pinched together, lips just a little parted, face still peaky. A ping of dread sped my heart, bringing the sudden certainty I'd find a knife in Noah's chest or slash through his gut. I glanced down. No blood on his shirt, no ragged wound. He's fine, Ella. Breathe, Ella. Calm the fuck down, Ella. Noah had a radish-laden plastic fork in his hand. He was fine. Fucking fine. But a band of panic tightened around my chest, the pressure making my pulse slam into my ears, banging out a rhythm that didn't match what a heartbeat should be. Bang, 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 bang. You okay? Jason hunched down, placing his face level with mine. I couldn't think of a way to tell him that my heart was going to explode and that would be the end of me, but it wouldn't be the worst way to go, and I'd been living on stolen time for a while, so guess I'll die now. Sorry if it traumatizes you. Bang, 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 bang. Jason shifted his hand from my back to my waist like he was preparing to catch me. Ella? The rhythm of the banging changed, the sound brightening. Ba-cha-bam, ba-cha-ch-ch-ch-ba. Nope, wait. Oh, damn it. Okay, hold on. I got this.
You should know that rhythm.
Ba-cha-bam, ba-cha-ch-ch-bam, ba-cha-ch-ch. Right? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So The rhythm of the banging changed, the sound brightening. Ba-cha-bam, ba-cha-bam, ba-cha-ch. Tapping coming from behind me. That, boys and girls, is a time step. A single time step, to be exact. A single buck time step, to be absolutely precise. That was me.
At this point, if you're really into musical theater, you should be able to guess what the tap number is. But
if you're really into musical theater, you'd have to be.
I would have known by now.
You have to be a huge music theater geek.
I would have known.
Yes, I know. I know you would have. I'm very proud of you. You are.
Okay, continue.
Tapping coming from behind me. I rammed the heel of my boot into my already fucked foot as hard as I could, earning a wave of pain that rolled all the way up my leg to settle in the bottom of my lungs, but the sound behind me didn't stop. Ba-cha-bam, ba-ch-ch. Listen, Ella. Ella? Jason tightened his hold on my waist. Listen. Jason's voice sounded normal. The voices of the people passing didn't blur. Nope. The voices of the people passing by didn't blur. The world didn't shift or wobble at the edges. I turned to look behind me, and no pain or sting or unshakable talons tried to stop me from moving. Fuck. I leapt to my feet. What's wrong? Jason tried to take my hand. I snatched it away from him, heading toward the edge of our roped-off VIP pen, trying to catch a glimpse of the bandstand down the path cutting east. A flock of people blocked my view. Is that tap dancing? I rose up on my toes, craning my neck, but I still couldn't see. Opening number from 42nd Street, Evan said. Do you like musicals? Okay, so brief pause. That's the musical. 42nd Street. What number is it, Megan?
It is the opening number of 42nd Street.
It is the opening number.
And specifically the bangs are a local tap school version of the toe taps at the beginning of the opening number.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever watched teens try to do the opening number of 42nd Street?
No. I'm
it's
sure.
Just
There's no subtlety.
There's no subtlety.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really thought about how these sounds should be.
I believe
My
you.
little tap neuroses came out hardcore in this.
So those of you who don't know, I don't know that we've talked about this before, but Megan and I went to what was at the time probably the best school for tap dance in the country. Wouldn't you say?
The best university level?
The best university level,
yeah.
The best university level school for tap in the country. Not like stuff that you're going to find in New York, like Steps on Broadway or anything like that. Those obviously are going to
We didn't have Mike Minery.
No. But we had Robert Reed.
Which was amazing.
Who was the founder of the St. Louis Tap Festival. Yeah, he was brilliant. But anyway, there you could level out at one of 8 levels. The first 4 were in A. The second 4 were in Group B, and that was 5 through 8. I leveled out at a 5. I felt very proud. Megan leveled out at an 8. So she knows her tap. That's all. I just wanted to brag on my wife a little bit. Okay. So anyway.
Thank you. I think that was
you're very welcome. Maybe we'll do an episode where it's just tap dance. We'll do Morse code in tap for the entire chapter.
Honestly, the arthritis in my feet can't take it, and
That's
I haven't turned 40 yet.
I'll do it.
I will choreograph you.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Opening number from 42nd Street, Evan said. Do you like musicals? Fuck. But there had to be lots of times there was tap dancing in the park. This couldn't be it. This couldn't be the fucking tap number. No. Just no. I fucking refused. Do you want to go watch? Evan's voice barely registered, my mind too busy trying to patch together coherent thoughts through the tapping that banged into my fucking brain, resonating all the way down into my chest, twisting the front of my lungs, making the panic even fucking worse. Think, Ella. Breathe, Ella. I couldn't do it. The kind of Sybil instinct I fucking hate wouldn't let me breathe. Fuck. I bent down, ready to duck under the pen's rope and run, but a hand closed around my wrist. Reflex killed thought. I spun, swinging for the one who'd grabbed me, not registering whose nose my fist was smashing until a zing of pain spiked from my knuckles to my elbow. Evan. He stumbled back, blood already leaking from his nose. I didn't have time to apologize. Ella has a high starter response. It's in the damn email. Paige's shout chased me as I ducked under the rope barrier, running toward the bandstand, weaving between feasting townies, only resisting screaming, "Get the fuck out of my way!" because my lungs wouldn't work well enough to run and shout simultaneously. What's wrong? Luca's voice came from right behind me. Fucking move! A kid in a tutu and tiara dove out of the way, landing on a table of tarts, giving Luca space to move up and keep pace beside me as we plowed onward, leaving Tart Lady to scream at Tutu Kid, running faster as the meanderers in front of us scattered out of our path like they never would have for me alone. "It's the bandstand." I forced out the words as a corner of the doomed roof came into view. "We have to clear the stage." "What?" I caught my first glimpse of black sequins as the horde of soon-to-be-squashed dancers raised their arms. Fuck, watch your... A woman spun to glare at me, stopping too quickly for me to dodge around. My shoulder slammed into her, knocking her over. I ignored her angry squawk. Luca shoved some guy, sophomore, from school aside, scattering the rest of that gaggle, clearing the end of the path that spat us out into the grassy patch where the spectators watched the dancers, not knowing the mind-fuck of a trauma they were about to witness. I slowed, searching for any form of fucking alarm to sound, but we were outside in a loud, packed park with no evacuation warning to trigger. "What's wrong with the stage?" Luca kept his voice low. "The roof's coming down." I needed to scream the warning. I wanted to scream it, but it came out as a strangled whisper. "Think, Ella. Reason, Ella. When is it coming down?" Luca asked. Fuck. Sheriff fuck. Still where we'd seen him, right beside the stage. A shit choice, the best one I had. I cut toward the sheriff, scrambling for a combination of words that would make him believe me. Luca gripped my upper arm, not stopping me, more like making sure I still knew he existed. "Ella, when?" "Before the end of the song." Shit. A clump of pissy-looking vested people surrounded Sheriff Fuck. People who were going to get a fuck-ton more pissed when I tossed their asses out of my way. I could tell Sheriff Fuck I'd spotted something in the bandstand rafters. Tell him the second kidnapper... Fucking what, Ella? The tappers started a call and response section, all of them following the gangly boy dancing center stage. I love that it's a gangly boy playing Andy.
It's always a gangly boy.
It's always a gangly boy.
Troupe.
Yes, it is.
It's always a 15-year-old gangly ass fucker trying to keep up.
That would have been me. The tappers started a call and response section, all of them following the gangly boy dancing center stage, smiles shining like they were having the best time of their fucking lives. Shit. Luca tightened his hold on my arm, whipping me around, clutching me to him. He lowered his face toward mine, diving in for a reckless kiss goodbye before I outed my Etherean ass to all of Laureldale. But his lips barely grazed my cheek on the way to my neck as he buried his face in my hair and roared in an inhumanly loud voice. "Bomb under the stage! Bomb! Run!"
I'll take it.
Thank you. My ear rang from his shout, but the music kept playing and the dancers kept dancing and no one fucking moved. And then, chaos. Screams of pure fear as the first wave fled at the disembodied voice's warning. Screams of pain joined as the fleers tripped over, pushed, and stepped on the people still seated on the grass. The trampling got the rest of the spectators moving, but the dancers hadn't caught on. 2 of them stopped, a few looked confused, most of them kept fucking smiling and dancing, and none of them left the bandstand stage. Fuck! I shoved away from Luca, fighting against the building stampede. Move! Fucking move! The still dancing tappers began the foosball man paddle step I'd seen in my vision. A woman using a cooler to plow her way deeper into the stampede bashed her plastic weapon into my ribs, knocking me into a tighter knot of flailing limbs, slowing my pace. I wasn't going to make it in time. I wasn't going to get the dancers to run. But Sheriff Fuck and a few of the dancers' parents had reached the bandstand. 2 of the dancers peeled right off, one running straight to her dad, the other grabbing a girl who looked like her sister, dragging that girl off the stage with her. I couldn't hear the words of Sheriff Fuck's shout as he frantically waved the dancers off the stage, but whatever he said worked. The dancers charged forward, jumped down onto the grass, and kept running, their parents following them away. All except the gangly boy center stage. He kept dancing all on his own, his lips locked in a smile, fear in his eyes like his tapping was all that held back catastrophe. I finally broke through. I have to right now. So we have been on this line for like probably 5 minutes. Because we could not figure out, I was reading it as his lips locked in a smile, fear in his eyes, like his tapping was all the held back catastrophe. And we could not figure out.
Well, because I can't see the line through the mic, but there was a typo.
was all that held back catastrophe.
Was all not the held back catastrophe.
It was all that was actually holding back catastrophe.
What did you think that I meant?
I thought that it was like his tapping. His tapping was all of the catastrophe that hadn't happened yet. Like it was just...
Oh.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
I understand now.
Yeah.
No, the mic is right in the way, which was, I was like, why are you saying at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, as Megan said, like Speed, where in order to... Oh,
Keanu
spoiler alert for this movie that I think is like 30 something now. That is it Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves?
Yes. Right? Yeah. And the bus has
to keep going at a certain speed. And so he is the bus.
Yes. He must finish the number.
He must finish the number.
The show must go fucking on, even if it's a solo.
On. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So shall we do this again now?
Yes.
He kept dancing all on his own. His lips locked in a smile, fear in his eyes, like his tapping was all that held back catastrophe. And that is the end. I'm kidding. I finally broke through the back end of the stampede and stumbled into the open. I locked my eyes on the dancing boy and sprinted toward the bandstand. The stage was only 3 feet high. I could make that jump, grab the boy. Crack. I almost missed the sound. I looked up, spotting the split in the bandstand's beam right where I knew it would be. Now! Sheriff Fuck shouted the order, actual fear tainting his voice. The boy finally listened. He ran toward the front of the stage, but the slick metal on the bottoms of the boy's shoes didn't have any traction. He slipped, slamming to the floor face first just as the beam gave. The twisting sheet metal shrieked over the cracking of the splintering wood as the roof caved in. The ground shook from the force of the collapse. I didn't stop. I reached the bandstand, ready to jump up, to dig, to find the boy. He didn't need to be found. Center stage, on the floor, his terrified, pained cries carrying over the music that wouldn't fucking stop. My body went numb. My legs wouldn't let me make the jump onto the stage. Keep moving! Sheriff Fuck shouted at the fleers who'd stopped, gaping in horror at the bandstand. The song finished. Fake applause carried through the buzzing, cracked speakers. The boy had almost made it clear of the wreckage, but his right leg had gotten trapped beneath the roof's center beam. Not trapped, crushed, and blood, so much fucking blood. It didn't seem right that there should be so much blood. Pressure slows blood loss. The beam was pressure. It should have stopped the bleeding, but it hadn't worked that way. EMS, I've got a kid on stage. Sheriff Fuck spoke into his radio as he vaulted up to help the boy like every part of me screamed I should, but I couldn't move. My body wouldn't fucking move. A vice wrapped around my stomach, wrenching me away from the bandstand. I twisted, instinct kicking in enough to let my frozen body swing a punch at my snatcher's face, but my feet left the ground, killing my momentum as Jason flung me up into his arms, cradling me to his chest as he ran, dodging through the trampled chairs, blankets, toys, and food, not following the bulk of the horde west, where a tipped-over tent now blocked the center path, but cutting diagonally, I thought toward the VIP volunteer pen. Most of the pen's tables and chairs had been knocked over, and the rest of our group had vanished, but Luca waited at the southeast corner, back to a tree like he'd found sanctuary perched on a boulder midstream, clutching an unfamiliar sobbing kid under each arm. "This way!" Jason called as he ran past Luca. I couldn't see around the breadth of Jason's shoulders to check if Luca had followed. Not that it mattered. The danger had already passed. Everyone could stop screaming, but they didn't, and the wailing sirens rushing closer only made the hysteria worse. I hadn't made it worse. Better a panicked crowd than crushed kids, right? Jason reached the Argo, his speed slowing to a forced jog as he cut along the southern wall, heading for the front of the cafe. Paige emerged from the crowd, rising above everyone else as she climbed up onto the lip of the Argo's porch, twisted over the rail, and hopped onto the porch proper with the ease of someone who'd done that a shit ton before. She went straight to Kate, clinging to my guardian as they stared out over the mayhem with terror in their eyes. Sydney climbed over the side of the porch next, turning to help Noah up as Paige spotted Jason. There! Paige pointed with one hand, swatting at Kate, the powerful-ass witch, with the other. "I've got her!" Jason called like I'd just been kidnapped again, not standing perfectly safe on the edge of disaster, watching awful shit happen like a useless fucking fuck. "Ella!" Tears streamed down Kate's face. Andre climbed over the railing, turning as Sydney had, ready to help me up, but Jason didn't put me down. He just lifted me higher, passing me into Andre's arms like I was some kind of offering. And Andre didn't set me on my feet. He lowered me into a chair, placing me gently like a precious creature too delicate to stand. But I could stand. I could stand. I could walk. I could run. The boy on the stage couldn't run. Might never run or walk or dance or breathe again. Kate knelt in front of me, barely giving Jason room to jump the porch railing as she grasped my hands, searching my face. What the fuck was she looking for? She had to know I'd had a vision. Had to know her fucked up ward had been involved in the mess that would probably make national news. It's okay, Ella. Kate held my gaze. Everything is going to be okay. She didn't know about the boy yet. He wasn't okay. He'd never be okay because he'd been a half a second too slow. No, Ella, because I'd been too slow. I pushed Kate away, knocking her on her ass as I leapt to my feet and puked pounds of pastry over the Argo's porch railing. And thus ends chapter 3. How are you feeling? How do you feel? How do you like it?
Better than Ella's stomach.
I feel really weird because I did cheat and start on next week's chapter already.
Yeah, sure. You should feel weird.
Because I'm like, but I... So I feel like this chapter ended where it needed to. Mm-hmm. And that I'm very happy with how it ended.
Okay.
But I just want to talk about the next bit. This is why I don't do this normally. Because I'm not good at surprises and secrets. So I normally don't start writing the next chapter until after we're done. So
and I can't.
But this time I had to because
I know nothing about it.
But I'm very happy with where this ended and how it segues to the next portion.
Okay. I am very excited. I love that this
I think I'm getting a stress rash right now.
Because you can't talk about it?
Because I can't talk about it.
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's move away from that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Cheating is bad for me. I can't.
Okay.
Okay, multiple ways. But kids, you should always be honest with your friends. Don't cheat at poker. People might punch you. No, because I do know exactly where this sequence starts next. I'm like, yes, I love this because it leads great into but I can't.
Okay.
This is why a brain injury is sometimes good for me around Christmas because I don't remember what I've bought people for Christmas.
That's fair.
So I don't have to worry about giving it away.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'm going to start this off with this line. I love this line. I didn't realize I loved this line until read aloud. The sound of a creature punished by death's late arrival. And I was like, oh, as in somebody who's suffering and death is going to come for them, but it's taking its time. So instead of it putting them out of their misery, they're suffering. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's really pretty. I like that. I mean, it's horrible, but it's pretty. You wanted to, you know what? We'll save that. I'm going to come back to that because there was something that you wanted to talk about, but I want to save that for later. The table in front of me tipped and rippled as it came back into focus. My stomach rolled, adding the overabundance of pastries I'd rammed down my throat to the list of life choices I needed to re-examine. During read aloud, Megan goes, I can't wait to get to the part where the pastries are important. And I was like, what? So wait, what? But you can't talk about it, can you?
No. But I can't wait to get to the part where the pastries become important.
Great, sure.
Because bacon-topped donut is not there for no reason. Okay, bacon-topped donut is there because it is the most excessive, this feels like a good idea in the moment, but wow, I regret that donut
Does it also have maple icing?
Yes.
Hell yeah, it does. Maple bacon donut,
baby.
Yeah.
That is where maple bacon in my head is wow, this is delicious. Oh, no. That I have life choices, I doubt. But the life choices become important later.
Okay. All right. Well,
yes, but it is headcanon maple bacon donut. She pounds it and she's like, wow, I doubt many things I have done in my life. And right now, this is the foremost choice that I am doubting. This is top of my mind.
So I love that we have this, he took my hand, he being Evan, he took my hand, giving my fingers a squeeze. Then his gaze slipped from my face to Jason's hand on my back. And I went, oh, geez. It was like this. It's so funny because she's freaking the fuck out because she just had this vision of a bunch of kids being smushed. And it's back to the, why are you touching my girlfriend, bro? She's not your girlfriend, bro. Why are you touching my date, bro? She's not really here with you, bro. I bought her the ticket, bro. Like, it's just so...
Well, no, but you also have to think of it from, like, Evan's point of view.
Do I?
No, but you do.
Ugh.
So from Evan's point of view, like, yes, he fucked up, but he's on his redemption arc.
Sure.
Like, he asked out the girl of his dreams.
He feels that he's on this redemption arc.
Yes, he asked out the girl of his dreams.
God.
He was really emotionally distressed.
Yeah.
Accidentally fucked someone in a church.
Accidentally.
These things happen to the best of us.
You don't accidentally fuck anyone.
You just like trip into him behind a curtain. You're like, oh,
he tripped and fell into a vagina.
It happens to the best of us.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
That's bullshit. All right.
But so to him, he's on this redemption arc of like, yes, I'm going to be a better person for this amazing girl. This girl got kidnapped and I haven't been able to see her. And all of a sudden I'm here and I want to be with her. But she's surrounded by these people who are keeping me away from her and insulating her. And I just need to break through because this perfect girl doesn't have the help she needs. And I could give it to her.
I just can't with him. Okay. So moving away from Evan, there was this part of the book where we went, wait, do we usually do that with hyphens? I don't know. Should we add that to the style guide? And that word was fucked upness.
Okay, so for people who are new, or maybe we haven't talked about this before, what we mean by a style guide is that for all of my books, and then for also just the Laurel series, we have documents that are like, this is how we always do it. So for things like inhuman versus unhuman.
Right.
Or like, are we always capitalizing something?
Or this is kind of, this might
Are there fucking double doors?
Are there, oh, fuck your double doors.
I'm sorry, I know but double doors.
In the Dome series where we have vampires, it's very important to make a distinction between steak and steak. Which is not something you think about. And then you're like, oh shit. Yeah.
Well, it's also dome guards. Guards.
Yes, screw that too.
That was awful.
Outer guard, dome guard.
Like all guards. Of the capitalization turns out different.
I'm still not positive we called all of them.
We tried really hard. Ugh. But anyway, so this style guide for Laureldale, it has like world notes and like the things that we always do with like how we do our... What are the dashery-doos called?
They are called horizontal bars.
How we do our horizontal bars, and like all of those are all in the style guide. But for this series in particular, with Ella, some of her made up curses like fucked upness. How do we write fucked upness? And so fucked upness is actually in our fucked upid style guide to make sure that whenever Ella says fucked upness,
it's fucked dash
hyphen.
Upness. Yeah.
So it's always consistent. And so those are the weird things that end up in my style guide.
Your style guides. This is my style guide.
It's true. I don't actually, the style guides are not on my computer.
I don't think you've ever seen them.
I have. I've looked at them over your shoulder and said, that's funny. And then walked away.
Yeah. That's very funny. It takes me hours. Okay.
I love you for it.
I couldn't think of a way to tell him that my heart was going to explode and that would be the end of me, but it wouldn't be the worst way to go, and I'd been living on stolen time for a while, so Meg, guess I'll die now. Sorry if it traumatizes you. I put A, funny, B, Megan in a nutshell. Do you deny it?
No, it's living with lupus and spoony stuff. It's like a daily thing of like, wow, my chest really hurts. Might be a heart attack.
This could be the time I go.
Well, I've been alive a lot and emergency rooms are expensive. Hope I don't die. Like, that's normal. So just like, hope I don't die. Guess we're going to keep going.
So this is kind of a fun thing. The ba-cha-bam, ba-cha-bam, ba-cha-cha. So Megan went, this entire sequence, starting there with those bang, 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 bangs, this is about 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Did I just do the Muppet Show?
You did just do the Muppet Show. That's what I was going to say.
The Muppet Show on the opening of 40. Wait, what's the opening of 42nd Street?
I don't remember.
It sounds like the Muppet Show, though, doesn't it?
I don't.
Or is that just headcanon?
I don't know.
But no, 42nd Street opens with the curtain rising, and you have toe taps, which if you're not like real tappers, you have to go just like bang, slam, 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 and then it goes.
The fact that with not real tappers, you would try to do the opening of 42nd. I mean, okay, it's mostly just across the floor stuff, right? Like with the traveling time steps and everything else.
It's fast and it's complicated, and the arms make it a bitch.
Well, there are fake wing time steps in there, and those aren't easy.
No.
Yeah, so like that's pretty advanced stuff.
And this is your musical theater
lesson for the week. But the fact that means that from the time she hears those bangs to the time that the beam falls, only 1 minute and 50 seconds have passed. Yes. So when you guys are reading the text of this, and I implore you, read the text of it. I hope that you are, because our interruptions get a little out there sometimes.
I blame you for 82%.
I will accept the blame for 82%. Okay. So anyway, when you're reading the sequence, understand that this is only taking 1 minute and 50 seconds. Moving on,
which is why, like, Ella's fast. Like, she can run. She can shove people over.
Yeah.
But there's a crowd in her way, so she's trying to...
across a crowded park.
She's not trying to not knock people out of her way and scream and sprint through them. So she's running, but she's weaving through people.
Yeah.
And that's why she doesn't get there in time, because we're talking under 2 minutes from realization to collapse.
Yeah.
In trying to figure out how to get people to evacuate.
I feel bad that she is going to be carrying the weight of this, because she saved a lot of kids. She saved a lot of kids. Well, with Luca's help, but she saved a lot of kids, you know.
Not him.
Not him necessarily, which we don't really know what's going to happen to him, but...
He got smooshed.
But did he die? That's the question. And we'll find that out later.
Well, the EMTs are going to have to figure it out on their own. After they figure out about the bomb threat, because they're not going to be able to go to him right away.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, no.
So Sheriff Fuck hopping up there to help the kid. Other people aren't going to be able to respond right away because they have to keep the area clear.
Shit, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That really... Oh, no.
Because they used the B word to clear the area, they have to deal with the consequences.
Shit.
So it was the fastest way to clear the area that Luca could think of.
Yeah.
But that means that local law enforcement has to follow those protocols. So we're talking state police coming to the Adirondacks.
See, this is why I could never be an author. My brain cannot go that many. This is probably why I taught you how to play chess. And yet you kick my ass, because you can think ahead better than I can. The fact that you're able to go through all of the complexities of this shit, just mind-blowing. Anyway, to me, this simple civilian. So I want to jump back to Evan, believe it or not.
Yeah. I feel like you talk about Evan so much.
I do, because I identify with him so much, and it makes me sad. Opening number from 42nd Street. Do you like musicals? And I went, Jesus H. Just like, got it.
Well, but how exciting would that be to him? I love how I'm constantly...
You like musicals?
Like, wait a second. The girl of my dreams who's connecting with other people in trauma instead of me likes musicals.
I got this. Hold my beer.
I happen to know that we could deal with your emotional trauma with this top 6 playlist.
All right, we're going to start with... Learn to slam on the brakes. I'm kidding. I don't think that he has the emotional fortitude to dear with Dear Evan Hansen.
No, I feel like honestly it'd be like, Mama, who bore me with Ella.
Oh, God. Okay. Oh, this line. This couldn't be it. This couldn't be the fucking tap number. No. Just no. I fucking refused. I was like, so real. That is so fucking real. When something is happening in life and you're like, no. No.
And life always says fuck you anyway.
It does. But just
very rude.
No.
How rude.
No. Such a beautiful encapsulation of this series right here. Fuck. Watch your woman
scroll up a little bit more. You're not going to know where you are.
Oh, so Ella is bursting through crowds. She sees the first glimpse of black sequins. Fuck. Watch a woman spun to glare at me, stopping too quickly for me to dodge around. My shoulder slammed into her, knocking her over. I ignored her angry squeak. And I said, such a beautiful encapsulation of this series. They're saying fuck, character plows through your feelings. They're saying fuck. Like, yeah, well, that happened. I don't know. I just think it's funny. Did you do that on purpose for that?
No.
Okay. It was just funny.
It was just another thing in her way in her 2 minutes.
Yeah.
She has 2 minutes and this woman is like, don't say fuck. And she's like, fuck you.
And then we get to the moment where you made me re-record because you're like, you're giving it away. But Luca lowering his face toward mine, diving in for a reckless kiss goodbye before I outed my Etherean ass to all of Laurelldale. And no, that's not what he's doing. He's going down to bury his face in her neck so that he can scream without people seeing who it is that's screaming. And I was like, oh my gosh. And Megan went, look, this is still the funny moment before stuff gets fucked. And I was like, well, all right.
Well, that's the thing is that if you're going to write something like having a kid's leg potentially pop like a balloon, you have to toss some funny in there. You can't pop a leg like a balloon.
Yeah.
And not have any funny beforehand, or it's just a downer.
Speaking of funny beforehand, this was a fun typo. The line is, my ear rang from his shout, but the typo was, my ear ran from his shout. And I was just envisioning a little ear growing legs and running away, and it was just very funny.
Okay, but can you imagine what a Sybil ear could get done? Like if a Sybil could like detach her ears and be like, guess I'm deaf for a couple days. This really sucks.
Yeah.
And send her little ears out in the world to like sense all of the things that are happening.
That'd be awful.
It would be awful, but how many more visions could she get?
No, thank you. I don't think she wants that.
Oh, no, she absolutely doesn't. It would be hell. And she'd definitely not be able to comprehend reality quite quickly. But just how many more visions could she get? Isn't it fascinating?
You terrify me. Bomb under the stage. Bomb, run. This is Lucas shouting this. Megan says to me, that's the felony. And I responded, thank you, honey. And then I went, oh, because I had forgotten that Megan had mentioned vaguely felonious acts. And
yes,
this
at
is
the top of the book, we're talking about the 3-act drama that is the Laurelldale Food Fest.
Vaguely felonious acts.
And one of the things included in the night's drama is vaguely felonious acts, like yelling the B word when there was no bomb.
Yeah,
I love how I'm saying B word like I'm on TikTok.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But like yelling bomb when there is no bomb, like that's a big old no-no.
Right.
However, if you were to yell bomb to clear an area because you knew people's lives were in danger and it was the only thing you could scream, I'm pretty sure a judge would let you off.
I think you're probably right.
Which is why I'm like, vaguely?
Yeah. So last thing I want to hit was actually a little bit earlier on, but I was like, no.
Keep in mind, I am not a lawyer, so like, please don't be like.
If you come to this podcast for legal
Megan
advice
Russell
on your
said,
own
if
head,
I had to clear an area, I could totally yell bomb and get away with it.
No, but she achieved top marks in her class. Didn't you actually? Okay, but seriously though, another bragging point. Didn't you score top of your class in the law classes you took?
Yes.
See. It's so funny. Like, I love, you were a dance performance major and you were outdoing the law students in law.
Only in one class. They had a lot more than one class.
That's fair. That's fair.
But in the one class I had with them, I beat them.
I wonder how that made them feel.
I don't think they knew.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's probably
the
good.
teacher told me I set the curve. I don't think that the curve setter gets to... Like, I don't think other people know who sets the curve. I think you just get to know that you did it.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think people... Like, I've never had a professor point and be like, you bitches who failed, she set the curve, fuckers. Blame her ass.
I'm about to call myself out so
You've
hard.
never set the curve in anything?
I didn't know teachers. Baby. I didn't know teachers did. No, but here's the thing: is I should have set the curve in my music theory class because I was leaps and bounds above everybody else in that class.
Were you?
Yes.
Or do you just think you were?
No, I was. The teacher talked to me about it. Like I was because I was in there with a bunch of other musical theater majors. Music theater majors are not known for their grasp of music theory. I was a piano player. How dare you question my brilliance when it comes to music theory? Okay. So last thing I want to talk about is You said that taking a break for Lori's story helped you figure out how to break Ella's story into more chaptery chunks for this format. Can you go into that a little bit?
Okay, so in looking at 3,000 words as my cap for Lori's story, and I changed it a little bit. And looking at 3,000 words and being like, this is my maximum allotment.
Yes.
I have to get through beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
And then looking at, okay, here's my chapter allotment, which towards the end of Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer, I was looking at like 6,000 words almost. Because I wanted to do the full arc, because I wanted it to be absolutely pretty.
Yes.
But in restricting myself and saying, no, you have 3,000 words to work with, I started looking at mini arcs instead of the major arc that I would love in a novel world.
Okay.
Of like, okay, well, really this arc is 3 chapters, but it's 1 segment.
Okay.
But I wanted it to be pretty and perfect.
Yes.
And wasn't accepting breaking it into smaller chunks.
Okay.
But in Lori's story, because I had to say 3,000 words is my max, that's it. In things like dealing with the underground club, okay, well then I don't have to do all of this in one. Walking through the door.
Oh, I
can break it up at walking through the door, because walking through the door is a great moment.
Yes.
And ending the club is a great moment.
Yes.
So I had the sort of leeway to look at that chunk and say, no, it's not going in a novel. It doesn't have to be perfect. What are your options?
Right.
And looking at the options and being like, wait a second, opening the door to the club is a great starter point.
Yeah.
Seeing what the club is a great ender point. Seeing what the club is a great starter point. I can do that instead of being like, well, this is my club sequence and we're going to put it all in one.
Yeah.
And I hadn't gotten to look at it as like, this is the full scene. Like, this is the full arc of where we are in this place. And here's how I'm going to break it down. I hadn't had that chance.
Okay. Yeah. That makes
I'm
sense.
still not entirely sure that makes sense.
No, it does make sense, because you were looking at like, so instead of being like, hey, I'm going to get through all of Food Truck Fest in one go. No, I can find different beats.
No, I can. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like I can
beats,
break it. Well, because originally, like, if I had not had Lori's story, what I would have looked at the beginning of this book is like, okay, we're going from the beginning of the Food Truck Fest. End of the Food Truck Fest, we're going to have the evacuation. Okay, well, that means that the real midpoint is the realization that there's disaster.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
So
I'm assuming there's about to be disaster, because he looks like he wants to jump up on that.
Yeah, our cat's about to do something very, very not smart. But instead of looking at like, okay, here's the thing, here's this one middle point.
Yeah.
Okay, but I can do these mini bumps.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
In my head, the way I'm explaining it doesn't make sense, but I'm really glad if it makes sense to you.
No, it does. I think that you were right, because you actually explained it and then went, I'm going to redo that. And you did. I'm glad you did, because that made more sense to me.
Yeah. It's looking at, okay, think of it this way in theater.
Okay.
So when you're in theater, you're kind of looking at a scene as to the next scene change.
Yeah, sure.
So you're looking at, okay, how long am I in this cafe?
Yes.
And so I was trying to write the entire cafe scene.
Okay.
Or at least until another cast member would enter or something like that. Like, how would I break it apart if I were looking at a scene chart for a rehearsal? Like, how would I split this up?
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it in more of a loose format and like, okay, I can let this be 2,000 words. So with this entire scene, between scene changes and character entrances, what are my beats that would create those good points?
Yeah.
And I was too nervous in Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer to let myself hop those points.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to try breaking it down, but doing something a little bit lower stakes, like Lori's story. And other words for fun.
Lori's story.
Then I got to sort of play with that a little bit more. And I think those lessons are going to be really helpful going into season 2.
Yeah.
/ book 2.
Yeah, I think so. And that is all that I have. So is there anything else that you wanted to share with everyone?
Yes, I have many things.
You have, well, go right ahead.
Well, mostly one thing, but it is very important.
Okay.
So so The thing is, when we originally started going back into the page by page podcast and beginning this format of running the podcast in conjunction with Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer,
yes,
we did not set the podcast up to be its own independent entity.
No, we did not. It was not a means to an end, but kind of.
It was a way to connect with readers while building a book.
Yes.
So a way to bring people along on the journey, but we didn't necessarily realize that the page by page podcast was going to become this entity on its own.
No.
Like, here's the thing. I haven't even fucking put Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer up on mainstream retailers for pre-order yet.
No.
Like, I haven't done that.
No.
And originally, the idea was to, like, bring people along with me so that when it goes up for pre-order, there's, like, people who care about the book. This is a whole world.
Yes.
So now that page by page has become this whole amazing world with this great community behind it,
yes,
we are rearranging how we're doing some of the text aspects.
Yes,
because while I love the motto, start how you would like to continue, we didn't know what we were continuing.
No, we did not.
So we are currently in the process of changing the page by page podcast over to a more robust. That's a good word.
It is good because
a more robust podcasting host platform.
Because Substack, it is great and you can host your podcast there, but it is not a podcast hosting platform. Meaning that in certain aspects of trying to analyze all this stuff, it's very limiting.
And it doesn't necessarily get to everywhere you want it to go.
No, that's true, actually. We're in more places now.
Yes.
Which is great.
So what we did
We're on iHeartRadio.
Yes, because the podcast has become this thing that is independent of Sketchbook of a Wayward Seer, which only exists to our Kickstarter backers so far, and isn't even up on pre-order on Apple, which is where I always post my pre-orders first. Yes. But anyway, so we are going to change to this other podcast platform. In this change, if you are one of our Substack people, and you're like, I always listen to the podcast episode on Substack, I comment on Substack, I love these things. Nothing is changing for you. Everything is exactly the same. We are still posting the podcast episode on Substack as always. That is not changing.
It might be. I actually want to amend that. I want to see if, because I have a redirect for the RSS feed, I kind of want to see if it will automatically redirect to Substack before I immediately share it.
Either way, you are going to have a Substack post that you can like, comment, everything.
It might be a little bit late, so sorry. I'm trying something out.
If you are on any of the other podcast platforms, so if you're listening on Spotify,
iHeartRadio.
That was new. Yeah. So Spotify, Apple, anything like that. Do me a huge favor and make sure that you are still subscribed to that podcast.
Yes, please.
Because sometimes when you're switching over RSS feeds, which is like how you host your podcast, there is a slight possibility that some of your podcast subscribers on platforms like Apple or Spotify, they may lose their subscriber status. That button may just get unclicked for them. Yeah. So do me a huge favor. And if you are listening to this podcast, make sure that the subscribe button is clicked so that you will continue to get these episodes.
Yes.
If that subscribe button is not clicked, even if you clicked it before, you may lose your subscription because we are switching over to a different feed. This is not something that's going to happen a lot.
No.
In fact, it should never, ever happen again.
No,
it's just we did not host the podcast as an independent entity. And we have realized that, in fact, Page by Page Podcast is an independent entity.
Yes.
And we must treat it as such with the respect it deserves for itself and its listeners.
We are legit. We have t-shirts.
We are legit. We do have t-shirts.
We do.
And so in wanting to give you the best experience, and again, this is something that is big for us in 2025, is how can we make our reader-listener experience more streamlined, better for people.
Yes.
This is, unfortunately, a pardon our dust moment of we are trying to make the podcast more streamlined, more accessible, better for everyone. And in that, unfortunately, we do have to ask that please click subscribe again, just so that we make sure that you really, really are subscribed and you didn't lose your subscription. Mm-hmm. Along with that also goes like the normal things, like please do like, comment, Right. Whatever your platform lets you do so that the algorithm knows that you like us. You were going to say something.
No, really, I just wanted to, go off what you were saying and say thank you guys so much for traveling over with us and for dealing with what's hopefully not a big hurdle. Yeah. And as always.
That's the thing is that it seems like it should be so smooth and unnoticeable that I am absolutely paranoid that it's catastrophe.
It's not going to be catastrophic. We've gotten like a million emails being like, hey, guess what? You're moved over to Spotify. You're moved over to iHeartRadio.
Yeah, but I'm worried about it being...
I almost said iFartRadio. Sorry.
iFartRadio. That seems like a problem for a colonoscopy. And on that note...
I don't think we can top iFartRadio. Thank you for reading.